So we are reading The Mighty Mars Rovers, The Incredible Adventures. So it's hopefully going to be really cool. The Incredible Adventures of Spirit. Okay. It's like your energy inside and opportunity. So there are going to be lots of chances. The Mighty Mars Rovers and The Incredible Adventures of Spirit and Opportunity. And that was by Elizabeth Ausch. So we can assume that this is one of the Mighty Mars Rovers. And yeah, it has an S, not just one Mars rover. Let's go to the next page. This is going to be a narrative nonfiction. That means it's going to tell a story as you read. And all stories, narratives, a narrative is a story. All stories have a plot. So let's look at my little plot picture. Ding. All right, so we start off in the beginning and we learn about who the characters are and where they are and what's wrong with them. This dude looks really upset. He's apparently been forced to hike up a mountain. And the rising action is what happens as it gets harder and harder and harder and harder until we get to the climax, which is you're either going to fail or survive moment. And you get to the other side. This is like in a movie where they blow up the starship or something, and they defeat all of the bad guys. And then they can calm down and go with the falling action, and they think it's all going to be okay. And then they've resolved their conflict. Sometimes the resolutions are really bad, though. But we can expect to see a plot with similar structures inside of this story. So we should get maybe an exposition here where we're introduced to the characters. Maybe the character's a robot, and some scientists. And then there's some rising action. It gets more and more stressful. And then there's going to be a climax, because you have to have a climax in a story. Really big deal. So something dire, something major, like something bad is going to happen. You can count on it. And then there's going to be falling action and a resolution. So we'll have to go see what that falling action was. Another thing I want y'all to do, so real quick, let's just look at this piece of writing. When you're reading, I want you to focus on what it sounds like. Good readers know what it sounds like in their head. So a narrator's voice, even this, it seems like, well, there's no one talking here, but the narrator is. And the best way to learn how to hear the narrator's voice is to say it out loud. So I want everyone to read out loud to themselves. Now, if you have a bunch of people in your room, you're like, I can't do that. But you can read very quietly, or you can whisper. Just read under your breath, so barely anyone hears. But while you do it, you need to add all of the drama that is coming through the line. So here's my example. Over the coming days and weeks, Steve and his team studied the images that filled their screens and debated what they meant. Many of Opportunity's photos featured blueberry-shaped pebbles strewn across the soil, like beads spilled from a broken necklace. I tried to read it so that it sounded like real dialogue, like someone was actually telling me a story. When you do that, when you can hear the narrator's voice in your head, and it's not going to sound exactly like mine, but it should be pretty close. You are processing what you're reading, not just with your eyes, which use one part of your brain, but also with your listening, which uses another part of your brain, and your speaking, which uses yet another part of your brain. So when you speak it out loud and listen to yourself, you are actually practicing reading with three different parts of your brain rather than when you read silently, just one different part. One part